Welcome to Comfort Time with Aunty Yunike, where we share testimony stories. Today we have a very special guest, and this is Mr. Sanisero. And we have an even interesting topic. And our topic for today is contraception for men. Mr. Sanisero, welcome to Comfort Time with Aunty Yunike. You're truly welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate for having me.
So, tell us, why men's family planning, men's contraception? Why?
Yes, this is one thing that everyone keeps asking me personally. Why would you advocate for men's contraception? Mm-hmm. As we are all aware, our women actually go through a lot of stressful moments to keep up with the taking of the medicines every day. Mm-hmm. And there are times that some of them are not very consistent, and then they skip their times of taking the medicine. And two, we know that there are a lot of side effects because not every medicine works well with everyone. Mm-hmm. So different people react different to certain medications, certain inducements like contraceptive tablets and those implants, and a lot of them. So it's actually cumbersome, and then it's something that we need to save our women from undergoing these. Some of them are quite not very maybe safe, so to say, safe medication. Like I said, not everyone responds well to certain medications. That's the reason why.
Okay, that's very considerate of you. That's awesome that you would think of the women rather than yourself. We wish every man would think like that. And to our audience, in case you get feedback, it's just the rains that are upon us, so they keep on coming and going. So what are the advantages of the men's family planning?
Yes, I will start by making a statement that what we are discussing, I'm not a medical profession, neither am I a consultant. Mm-hmm. So I'm sharing this from the physical, maybe from the experience point of view. Mm-hmm. First, I will just give you a very brief description of why I decided to do this. Mm-hmm. So, my wife had high blood pressure, extremely high blood pressure when we had our child. Mm-hmm. So I thought twice. She nearly died, and then I decided, why not help out? Mm-hmm. Why not do something that will basically take away that stress mm-hmm. from my wife? So I decided that I was going to research on this operation, or a program called vasectomy. Mm. Now later we'll get into the descriptions and the definitions later. So the advantages that I saw from the research were that it's a simple procedure, one, and two, it doesn't really have much physical reactions or side effects as per se, as we are going to see later on. So the advantages are actually, first of all, it's a simple procedure. It's a simple procedure in the sense that it's done outside the body, okay, on the scrotum, as it was. And then two, the other advantage, the biggest one, is that as we all know, that the sexuality of a man is actually at ejaculation. And then from the research I got that if you block the tubes that transport the semen or the sperms into the woman for her to get pregnant, then that means the man's pleasure will go on and on and on. So I was like, okay, this sounds very good. Then the other advantage is that At the point of aging, like in my case, about 50, you'll have had your children, you'll have been probably having children that are already in higher education. You really don't need small children that will really give you pressure, extra pressure, yes, to start looking at a baby nappies instead of looking at tuition fees or so. So the advantage is still there that you actually save the other little money for those that are already in tertiary education. So I think, as we are going to see, the advantages are actually numerous in the sense that they combine. But at the end of it all, it actually saves our women from the stressful, probably I can dangerous chemicals. Not only chemicals, they are induced with the hormones that actually some of them basically change the way a woman functions, operates.
That's awesome. So what are the benefits to you, or is it to the women? The benefits then will be they are healthier.
Exactly. So having said, having looked at the best part of it, because one, we said we are saving our women from undertaking these drugs and chemicals, poisonous drugs, poisonous, in some cases, so to say. Some of them are very good because they've always worked. They've helped. But we said that not every person really reacts the same to some of these medications. So what we're saying is that if we can basically save our women from those side effects, and I'm told one of the serious side effects that this has brought about is actually a prolonged period. And a lot of women get very embarrassed. They are not safe. They are very uncomfortable when she's going somewhere. She has to be prepared. She has to check herself.
Sometimes they cancel. They cancel a function,
cancel meetings because she's very uncomfortable going to people's house. So we are saying that if we can, as men, we can stand in and save our women from these embarrassing moments. Not really embarrassing, we know that a woman enjoys the period, but at the end of the day, there are just times when it's not supposed to be there.
No, it's embarrassing because it's prolonged, and therefore sometimes you forget that you're supposed to be.
Exactly. So what we are saying is that the benefits are numerous, just like the advantages. But I want to highlight a few of them. And before I go to the benefits, just allow me to describe the difference between the men's family planning called vasectomy and the castration. Many people have actually challenged me. I said, are you okay downstairs there? Is everything fine? Then I say yes. In fact, it's actually an additional plus. It's a plus. Because imagine, like we said, the sexuality of a man, the peak is actually at the point when the man ejaculates. And imagine nothing comes out. You are just discharging semen, which is just water. Your system will still send a message to the brain to say, we've not finished. And it simply means that, the man can go on and on and on and on. And this
what do you mean can go on and on? He's still... He still wants to have more sex?
Yes, he still wants to have more sex, and you probably go through one orgasm because the sperms have not come out, and your body will still demand more sex. And eventually you feel like you are satisfying your woman actually far much more than in the normal setup. So that's one of the benefits. The other benefits, we know that women are mostly courted. Women are it's a saying, women are mostly scared of pregnancy than STIs. So here's a woman who is very comfortable with this man that all is well. I'm not going to get pregnant. She will give it all. She will give the best of the action. Yes, and hence you have that family bond because sex unites couples and you have intimacy at the highest. And for me, that's greater. It unites the home. The family is actually solidified, and in such a way that is actually one benefit that will keep men united or clinging to their women. Like I said, there's a big difference between vasectomy and castration. Many people think vasectomy is actually castration. Maybe I just give a brief definition of the word vasectomy itself. Vasectomy is actually a simple procedure that is done on the man's scrotum or the testicles. As we all know, there are tubes that actually transport the sperm from the testicles to the penis. As such, the procedure is done in such a way that they open up a cutting on the scrotum, on the testicles, and they capture the two tubes, one from the other side and the other one from the other side. These two tubes are actually cut and they are tight and they are secured away. And they actually, the wound, like in my case, the wound was not covered, but they just put one casocia, one tie, like a tie. You still bleed for some time because we are taught that you continue bleeding so that you remove the dead cells, blood cells. So it's a simple procedure. It took me at least about a week. I was still bleeding, and I had to be told to wear a pad, women pad, in order for me to go for work and things up like that. But the procedure was very simple, though the pad kept on running away from where it was supposed to be.
You don't know how to wear it.
So I had to look for a female partner to teach me what to do. They advised me to sew the pad on my pant every morning, and that really made it very interesting, because at the end of the day I was able to recover from that wound very nicely. But I was advised that in about 6 months or so you are still supposed to use protection or condoms, or you are supposed to still take it like you are a normal man until the sperms are actually flushed out of the tubes, and then you go back to the hospital to check if your semen contains the sperms. And then after that, it was all. And this is probably my 7th year now.
Wow.
Yes, and I've been fine. And then...
so no one can come to you and say, this is your baby?
No. I even have a certified signature from the doctor, which I keep very safely. But of course, the intention is not to go about sleeping with everyone so that they start attacking you for pregnancies. But the whole point is, the purpose is actually for the home setup. And we emphasize, as men, vasectomy is strictly for married people. Married people are the ones that are supposed to enjoy this facility, because it actually enhances the connection between the man and the woman. And as such, I should also mention the other side. Castration is actually a total dismembering the scrotum, in the sense that you are not able to function
as a man.
Yes. But with vasectomy, you still function well. It's actually enhanced, so to say. I'm not a medical personnel, but from my own experience, I think it's like twice. Like I've explained, where you end, where your graph as a man ends, that's where now you pick up. Your woman literally surrenders, because you want to go on and on and on and on. So the benefits are there, and the advantages are still there. And so there was a man that asked me one question, very serious question. He said, you are the type of people that now that you know that you can't impregnate anyone, you just go about with the school kids and your blams and your what. It's the moral upbringing, because one can still do that even with condoms and everything. So that's not the issue. So the issue here, the main cardinal point, is the benefits in the house, not outside, not with the schoolgirls, not with neighbors, not with anyone. I am comfortable to have this privilege with my wife. We enjoy it. The union is actually amplified. Like we said, vasectomy is actually gives the woman that comfort. She goes to bed with a smiling face because she knows she's safe. Like we said, women are more scared of pregnancy than STIs. So as such, madam, the benefits and the benefits and the benefits and the benefits are enormous, and we can still save our women from these all substances being put in their bodies.
Okay, so the benefits are twofold. You are saving the women from taking in drugs that may be harmful to them.
Exactly.
And you're also saving yourself from finding yourself in a situation where someone comes and says, the father to my child.
Exactly.
No, that sounds very interesting. I'm more interested in the benefits to the women because I've counseled many women who have struggled. Some have actually died because they've been taking those tablets and they raise their blood pressure. Some they make them very, they gain a lot of weight, and there's nothing they can do to reduce that weight. Some, they have so many different complications.
Exactly.
So if they can be such loving men, that my wife went through this with the first child, with the second child, maybe we're planning on having only 2 children, maybe we have 3 children. I think now it's time for me to do my part. You went through that because it was necessary. We were preparing to have so many children. But now I can give you that breather. For me, it's such a loving thing for a man to do for his wife.
Exactly.
Congratulations. That's so kind of you, and so loving.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, and are there any other side effects?
Yes. Now, looking at the side effects, I was equally worried. I went back before I even did it. I took some time for me to decide to go and do the procedure. But I said, no, let me the side effects. What if the system just collapses and then tomorrow you are regretting, why did I do this? And then I went back to the drawing table where I wanted to really find out exactly from the theoretical point of view, because no one will tell you exactly as to what the side effects are unless you've done it. It's me now to tell the world that, to say, no, me, I've done it. And 7 years down the line, I feel like this. Or my guy is behaving like this. Is the banana okay? Are things as normal as they're supposed to be? Yes, one side effect that I found online, Uncle Google, is the fact that we are told that there's a substance that is produced by the dying sperms.
Okay.
And this is not from the medical point of view. It's from Uncle Google. Uncle Google can be
it can go this way or that way.
So there are dead sperms produce certain chemicals, certain substances that actually affect the menstrual periods of the other partner. So we don't know whether they go through the semen or through the blood, or you interchange the fluids as per se. But that is not really from the medical professionals. We don't know exactly, but that is what we know. And then the other side effect that I could actually feel, which is not really a bad side effect. For me, it's a good one. As we all know that men, we have this pendulum effect. We are told it's a pendulum effect. When you see a naked woman, all you think about is sex. When you see a woman, you undress her, you've already slept with her, and that effect is actually very traumatizing in most men. Because when they go to bed, some of them even confess that I cannot go a month, 2 months, 3 months without sleeping with a woman. But then vasectomy takes care of that. And what more can a man want?
How does it take care of that?
How does it take care of that? Because I personally don't even have wet dreams.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I don't have wet dreams, and wet dreams come from imagination. The things that we see during the day, probably you think of the other moment you had a good time with a woman, and then you translate it into a dream. You start dreaming like that woman is present, and then you actually feel like you're doing it. Okay. And at the end of the day, in the morning, you wake up with your biscuits in your pants, and so to say, you've sold your bases and things like that. But now vasectomy, this family planning for men, takes care of that. Okay. I have no pressure to actually want to go and sleep with a woman. because my mind is actually free from, it is said that vasectomy cuts the line between your brain and your zip. So meaning you are basically, you only react when there's a presence of a woman in bed. But for example, there are times that as men, as we are growing up as young men, you are walking with a friend, just a friend. You are walking with a friend. You are better off holding your pockets in your hands in the pockets, because you never know how the zip will react. So we've been told that that is the reaction of a man. And two, there's a morning, what do they call it? Those of us with boy children. When the boy wakes up in the morning, you find that the capis is up, there's erection, yes. With vasectomy, it's very rare that a man would actually have a morning erection, because basically you are at comfort, unless there's a female companion in bed that actually triggers this one. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that your pressure, your mind control with the sexuality, or your erection control, maybe triggers in the brain, are actually subdued, not suppressed.
Okay.
They are actually more or less like,
so you only feel the need to perform when there's someone
the food is available
that you are attracted to.
Exactly.
Okay.
And usually when there's fondling, there's kissing, there's those triggers towards the action. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting. I thought that would just cut off all emotion. So you still function 100%.
100%. Maybe 110%. So
okay.
To say
okay.
A little bit, yes.
Interesting. Yes. Okay. No, thank you so much. Yeah. I think this is going to help a lot of men to start thinking on that route. Unless you have something else you want to share.
In conclusion, I wish to appeal to every man. Like I said, we need to save our women from these chemicals and implants and the prolonged periods and the discomfort that our women go through. Why not take up the challenge? There's one of our comedians in Zambia that says na family planning. Why don't we start implementing that so that we mirror our women the family planning pill? In this case, let's all promote this one. There are no serious side effects. Like my cousins, the Tongas, are all scared that they want to zuja the world, they want to fill up the world, they want to reproduce the world. There's no need, because even spiritual, I can quote a scripture. 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 8. 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 8 says, the one who fails to take care of his own, especially those of his own household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. What more can the Bible advise us?
To clarify the issue.
We are supposed to take care of our own. And the number of children must be planned so that tomorrow you are able to send them to the university, you are able to take care of them medically, you are able to send them to primary school. Even when the HHs and our government brings free education still it's costly, because the child needs to eat from home, the child needs to have shoes. The government is not providing certain things like shoes and food. But at the end of the day, spiritually, even Christians, let's be responsible. Have responsible number of children that we're able to provide for. 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 8. Those who are unable to take care of their own, especially those of their own household, they've denied the faith. That is my conclusion.
Thank you so much. So there you have it. What can be more loving than that? I don't think there's anything else, because I have come to know of women who have died, died, and left a baby, and the man then remains with, and that's not the only baby, maybe she's had 3-4 children before, so on the 5th child she ends up dying and leaving a baby. And is it really worth it? And you've known that throughout, every time she's been pregnant, you've had those challenges. Why not help out for the sake of yourself, for the sake of your children, and for the sake of your wife whom you're supposed to love, whom you vowed to love until death do you part. People, this is news you cannot keep to yourselves. Share this news with all the men. Let's see that you really love your women. The Nelsons of this world, your organizations, they have to take this up and share with the men's network. Let this be something that men can take up. So many women are suffering, so many women are struggling because of contraceptions that they have failed. The blood has not agreed. Yes, there are some that don't have challenges, and to them we say, lucky you, and you can go ahead. But for those that have challenges, here is an answer provided in the form of love. This is love of the highest caliber. So thank you so much. We commend you for coming out and sharing with us. The doctors will be very happy to hear that here is someone who understands what can be done, because they are the ones who are having to face the women who are dying, who are maimed because of such. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a blessing to have you, and we'll share the video, and so many more people will be helped.
Right.
And many people didn't have this information, but now we have.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
So stay blessed. So, people of God, it cannot be explained better than this. Let's take it up. Let's share the video. Let's share the information. Ensure that everybody gets to know about this. And for those who are hearing about Comfort Time for the first time, please ensure that you support Comfort Time and ensure that you give us thumbs up so that many more people, when you give us thumbs up, YouTube now circulates the video. I know most of you just watch and move on. Ensure that you go back and click on the thumbs up. And for those who have not yet subscribed, it costs you nothing. You're watching the video, you watch where it says subscribe, just click there and you've subscribed. No amount of money will be taken from you or from your bundle. And then share widely. So please be blessed, stay blessed. We see you in the next video.